friends, we are going to begin the service for Mr. Ernest David Ruby. I would ask if any of you have a cellular phone to please turn it to the off position. Officiating our service today will be Rabbi Barry Schechter.
Mizmor David, Adonai, mi Yakub Yolecha, mi Ishkon behar kodshecha, holech tamim, ufoel tzedek, v'dover emet bilvavo. Lo rakal lishono, lo asad reihura, b'chere palon asa, al kerovo. Nifze peinav nimas, v'et yerei Adonai echabed, mishpat lara, v'lo yamir. Kaspo lo natan ben neshech, v'shochad anaki lo lakach, oseyele lo yimot li'olam. God, who may abide in your house, who may dwell in your holy mountain, those who are upright, who do justly, who speak the truth within their hearts, who do not slander others or wrong them or bring shame upon them, who give their word and come what may do not retract, who do not exploit others. Those who live in this way shall never be shaken. Dear friends, we're here for a sad and difficult occasion to say goodbye, which is just about the most difficult thing we can ever do, but also to pay tribute and to honor the memory and, even if possible, to celebrate the life of Ernest Ruby, Ernie, the son of Norman and Freda, David ben Norman Ufreidke, who's gone to his eternal rest and leaves behind a family and friends and colleagues and people who work for him and so many others who loved him very dearly and whom he loved. First, I should mention Sandy, his wife, and his son Oliver and her Minnie, and grandchildren Kaylee and Stella, and sister Linda and her Maury Liebling. And Oliver could not be here. Oliver is in Japan, but he has recorded a message. And we are going to hear Oliver's message now. It'll just take a minute or two for them to put this up, but we're going to hear and see it. I'm going to sit down while this is being shown.
A message to my father. Dear Dad, I would like to say that I love you with all my heart, and I appreciate all of the things that you have given me, because without you, I wouldn't be here in life where I am now. I am forever grateful for all of the adventures and memories we've shared together, and some of them include swimming at the YMCA, getting hot dogs afterwards, riding bicycles along the North Shore bicycle path, sailing on the weekends in Lake Michigan, even getting caught up in a life-threatening storm, but making it out alive, windsurfing, ski vacations in Colorado, and hiking trips in Door County. Of course, these are just a few of the countless memories, but each one even more important and more precious than the previous, And even spending a week together just a few weeks ago has turned out to be the most precious memory of them all. And all of the memories that I have shared with you, my father, have shaped me to be the person that I am now. And throughout life, of course, you have taught me so much by living life as an example for me. But if I were to choose the top 3 things that I've learned from you, they would be: number 1, be passionate. Always be passionate about the things you do, whether that may be your career or your hobbies. Dad, you were always a very passionate engineer, musician, and sailor. Number 2, be generous. Always give to others anything that you can possibly give, whether that may be time or assistance or help or your attention. Dad, you've always offered your help to others whenever you could. And number 3, love like no other. Always love those around you, whether that may be your family or your friends. Love others like you would want them to love you. Dad, you've always been so kind, and you've always loved me and your family and your friends like no other. I hope everyone here will also continue to do these things in my father's honor. Be passionate, be generous, and love like no other. I only hope to one day become a man and a father like you were to me, Dad. And I only hope to be able to live a life as well as you have lived yours. Dear Dad, I love you so much, and I will forever hold you close to me in my heart. Oliver.
I want to thank Oliver, although, well, maybe, can he hear me? I'm not sure, for those lovely words that he spoke about his father with his beautiful memories. I mentioned the family that is here. Of course, Sandy, your family is here too. Eric is here, and I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Elizabeth. And your sister Gail and his Joel, that's Ernie's sister and brother-in-law, right? I have that right? Yes. And then also Marissa is here. That is his... Sorry, no, go ahead. Chrissa? Oh, Chrissa, oh, you are here as well. Yeah, I'm sorry, Chrissa, I didn't mean, I beg your pardon, Chrissa. Yeah, well, welcome. And we have Marissa is here, that's his niece through you, and Jackson is here. That's, yeah, you take a bow, Jackson. That's his great nephew. You hear what I'm saying? You're a great nephew. No, it's a great nephew. So I hope I haven't missed anyone out. Anyway, it's good to see all of you here. And it was good when we spoke. And when I spoke to Jay, is Jay here? Jay's not here, is he? I see, okay. When I spoke to Jay, who worked with him, who's running the company now. But it was good to hear about him. When we spoke, we had a very, very nice conversation yesterday. You told me how he went to Evanston Township High School, and then he went to Champaign, the University of Illinois, the College of Engineering, and he worked for Motorola. But his father, Norman, owned a business, and he was there once, and I think there was something wrong with the way the heating was set up. And he said, he just looked at it and said, oh, I could do this much better. And he rearranged the whole thing. This is not like heating a room in my house or your house. This is much more complicated. And then his brother-in-law, Maury, who was in the real estate business, said, wait a minute, this would be very good. I have these big buildings. So he did it for him. And then he patented this system and started manufacturing it, left Motorola to found and to start R&D Electronics. And in fact, it was so far developed that he was switching, I don't know how recently, from wired system to wireless. So we have there someone, Oliver mentioned passion. There are some people who can look at something, understand how it works, or should I say, understand why it doesn't work, and intuit somehow. They have such an understanding of the way things work, not just from their studies. There's something to do with instinct and native talent, and understand how to change this, how to create something new. And he had a passion for that. I know some people have passions, but they can't realize them. But he had a passion for that, and he had the talent and knowledge and instinct to actually create the things that he envisioned. They were not just fantasies. They were something he could create a reality out of. In fact, Jay told me that he loved to read about very distinguished and famous people who could see wonderful things that other people couldn't. Jay told me he loved to read. He loved to read about Albert Einstein. He read many books about Einstein. He loved to read about Stephen Hawking, about these people with fantastic knowledge that we're in awe of because their minds work so wonderfully. And this inspired him. He loved to see. He got a thrill that actually many of us get from reading about them. I just get the thrill. I can't create anything out of that, but he could. I know he loved sailing. He loved sailing, you told me. Had many sailboats. He had, I think, in Waukegan Harbor. I think, was it the last boat that was called Breeze Please? I think Oliver mentioned a near miss, something that nearly happened, but fortunately didn't happen on the boats. He also loved being around water, being in water. He sold the sailboat and used the proceeds to buy a place in Elkhart Lake, which was right on the beach and right on the lake, and you could see the water, and you could be in the water. He would swim in the lake there. The water there would heat up quickly. It's not like Lake Michigan, which he didn't particularly want to swim in. He was a wonderful dancer. Wonderful dancer. In fact, you told me that he could dance any kind of dance. He could do ballroom, country, swing, West Coast swing. I have no idea what that is. Hustle, line dancing. All he's wonderfully lithe and got on his feet. In fact, you met him at a dance, did you not? You were introduced. Who was it who got you to go? Gail, was it? No, this lady. Yes, you were you're the matchmaker here. You met at a dance, and in fact, you told me that after that you met, and then I think you started taking dance lessons shortly thereafter. You wanted to be sure. He liked music. He played guitar. He liked country music, Beatles music. Every year he went to Woodstock, right, for the guitar concerts. And so these were just a number of things that he loved doing. And as you can see, as you can hear, as you can understand, as Oliver said, passion. He didn't go into things half-heartedly. He went into them, as we say in Hebrew, belev nefesh, with heart and soul, and, I might add, mind as well, brain. That's how he approached everything. He was a very good tennis player. He used to play, I think you told me most recently, in Glenview with Paul. Is Paul here? Yeah, oh, there's Paul, yes. And when he was younger, he was a skier. He went skiing. Paul, I think you were from ETHS, right? You were in high school with him. There was another friend, Gary. Is Gary here? There's Gary. See, I know everyone here. It's wonderful. Gary, I think he used to come, you played ping pong with him. And you told me also that he was very close to the cousins Ronnie and Gordy. Are they here? No, I guess not. Oh, there. Yes, there you are. Good. I think Gordy would play pool, come over and play pool with him. And but the sailboat was the real love above everything else. Now, at work, I've spoken to you and I've spoken to Jay as well. You told me how, I mentioned to you yesterday, I could see that you were pretty organized, and you said, yeah, he was really organized. Everything at work was labeled, everything in its place. In fact, you've still got, you told me in the basement you have the original diagrams for the circuitry of the heating system. Now, Jay told me, when I spoke to Jay, I'll tell you the first thing he said. The first thing he said before anything else, he said, he is the kindest man I've ever known. That's openness. That's how he began. It's the most important thing. The first thing that came into his mind. He was quite distraught, actually, at his loss. He said he was the most generous person. Always looked out for him. He called him, listen to this, a friend, a mentor, a second father. He said together they went through the toughest times in the business and the best times in the business. And he had, this is something else we spoke about, he had this calm. There might be some ripples in it, but generally there's a calm. We talk about this, how calm in a person is infectious. If you are feeling uptight or nervous, and you come in the presence of someone who's calm, then you become calm, and vice versa. If someone who is a big personality and is very nervous, then it's difficult to resist that. But he was calm, and he communicated this calm. By the way, Jay told me that he was not only his friend, he was friends of Jay's friends. That he came to Jay's daughter's birthday party. I didn't know the daughter, but he came. He was part of his life. And he could not stop telling me in so many different ways about his generosity, about how he brought him under his wing, that he'd go to the ends of the earth for him. That's what he said. That's his phrase. And he said everyone has said, customers who been customers and so associates in a sense for years, have said he's a good man. Jay said something else. He said he could be stubborn, want to get something, but he said he was stubborn also in a very important way about principles. He was very principled. He was not going to corrupt himself by abandoning a principle, even if there was more profit to be made that way. So we have this man who combines in a single person a wonderful mind. He was a wonderful engineer. So as a talent and as a professional, he was superb. But with that is coupled You know, there are people who are very superb in their job, and that's it, 9 to 5, excellent, goodbye. Not like that at all. Because he was, when we're children, we're very curious. Look, we have someone here. Well, a little younger than this young man. They look around, and everything is exciting, everything is new. Look at this, what is this? They've never seen glasses before. What is this? Well, adults have to have this explained as well. I can't stand it. But anyway, all these other things, clothes, they notice colors, they notice shapes, sizes, sounds, smells, everything. And as we grow older, we grow more blasé. We've seen all this before. So we're less interested, we're less curious. But there's some people who manage to maintain, if not the detailed curiosity, but the curiosity in general about how things are, how they work, what they look like, how they can be changed, the kind of excitement that a child has, which is a wonderful thing that so many of us lose. He had that. He had that. But he had, in addition to these qualities of passion, of curiosity, the moral qualities or the ethical qualities, the love that Oliver spoke of, the generosity, doing things for others. You told me about how he would help people to come to this country, if they needed a visa, if they needed to get citizenship, how he helped. I would do anything for them. And you heard what Jay said about working with him at work. I mean, he was an employee. How many employees speak about their employer that way? So you get a picture of this lovely and talented man. And another thing Oliver said, which is very important. He said, I hope, and he was talking to all of us, including me, he said, I hope that we can try and be maybe a little like him. We can't be exactly like him. We're all individuals and we're all different. But, in our prayers, for example, in the prayers we make after we eat, the Birkat Hamazon, it's called, or the benching, the prayers we say, there's a space there. If our parents are present, we ask God to bless them. Harachaman, may the all-merciful Yivarech, may he bless. And then you say, my father, my mother. Now the Hebrew for my father is Avi. Avi means my father. We don't just say Avi. We say Avi Mori, my father, my teacher. Because that's what a parent should be. A parent should be a teacher. And we talk about parents being friends. Maybe they should be friends, but they should definitely be teachers. And he was a teacher par excellence. I'm sure he told Oliver what to do and what not to do, but I'm not talking about teaching by instruction. I'm talking about what he was talking about, which is teaching by example. Look at the way he behaved. That's the way one behaves. So we can't do all of this all the time. That's difficult. We can't, there's nothing I can do to make myself a great engineer. I won't even say that train has left the station. There was no train and there was no station. But I'm talking about the other things. The love, the dedication, the generosity, the support of others. That's something we can learn from. Won't happen all the time, but I'll tell you when it might happen at certain moments. We'll have the opportunity to help someone. And deep, deep, deep down, we know that we should. But we won't be in the mood, which happens. We'll think, I can't be bothered. And then we'll think of Ernie, maybe. And we'll think, what would he do? And see, they're agreeing with me, you see. Now, it may be that just thinking of him at that moment makes us do what deep down we know we should have done anyway, and will help this person. So through thinking of him, we'll actually act better than we otherwise would have. See, at that moment, he lives on. He really lives on. You know, the good that a good person brings into the world, when they come into the world, does not have to go away with them when they leave us physically. They've given us a Yerusha, an inheritance, a legacy, whatever you want to call it, or the gift that can go on giving if we will let it. Well, we have to try. We don't always succeed, but we have to try. If you want to honor him, if you want to honor his memory, that's the way to do it. We can do it in other ways. We can do it with prayer. In my synagogue on this Friday, and tonight actually, and tomorrow morning, I will mention his name before we say the Kaddish. And by the way, if anyone wants to join, we're on Zoom as well, so if anyone wants a link, I will give it to you. It's tonight and tomorrow morning. So we do it that way as well. But for the longer term, if we see him in our mind, that is the way to honor him. Well, we're honoring him here now, and I say of him, Tahei nishmato tzurura b'tzror hachayim, which means may his soul be bound up in the bond of everlasting life. And to him I say, Ernie, David ben Norman Ufreidke, Lech b'shalom, geh in Frieden, go in peace, Habalech in Gan Eden, may your repose be in paradise. You will never be forgotten. You will always be remembered in love by those who knew you and loved you and those whom you knew and you loved. Amen. We're going to read now the 23rd Psalm. We have this in these little booklets that you have there. Would you join me? Just open, if you open it, and it'll be at the top on the left. So let's read together. The Lord is my shepherd. Together, come on. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Could I ask you to stand, please? If standing is difficult, then stay seated. But if you can, could you please rise? Now, I'm going to cut your ribbon, which is a sign of mourning. I'm going to cut the ribbon. I'm going to say a bracha with you. Begin to way every bracha that is for look up there and I'll put it off. So let's say it together. Baruch Adonai Dayan Ha'emes. It means blessed be the true God. That's what we say together. Hail Mary Rachamim, Shachein Bamromim, Ametzei Menuchanechona, Tachat Ganefei Ashina, B'malot Kedashim Otorim, Kesohar Rakia Masihirim, Et Nishmat David ben Norman Ufreidke Shalach Lolamo Bavur Shanach Notrim Nitztaka Me'ad Askarat Nishmato Began Eden Tehei Menuchato Lachein Balarachamim Yastirei ubesete kenafel yolamim. Yitzror, Yitzror Achaimet Nishmato. Adonai hu nachalato. V'yanuach b'shalom al mishkavo. V'nomar Amen. Compassionate God, eternal Spirit of the universe, grant perfect rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and pure who shine as the brightness of the firmament. Unto the soul of Ernest David Ruby, the son of Norman and Freda, who has ended eternity and in whose memory we offer charity. May his repose be in paradise. O God of mercy, let him find refuge in your eternal presence. And let his soul be bound up in the bond of everlasting life. God is his inheritance. May he rest in peace. And let us say, Amen.
This concludes our service here in the chapel. The interment will take place immediately at West Lawn Cemetery in Norridge, Illinois. Shiva will take place at the Ruby residence. This information is located on your folders. Friday following the service until 7 p.m., Saturday from 8:30 p.m. until 10 p.m., and Sunday from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. For those of you that are on the live stream, that information is located on our website. Memorial contributions can be made to the Alzheimer's Disease Association, www.alz.org. Their formal address is also located here. For those of you who are going in procession today with the family, please make sure you obtain an orange funeral safety sticker. That sticker should be placed in the front passenger side of your windshield. We would also ask that you have your bright headlights, flashing hazard lights on at all times. For an additional measure of safety, our staff will be placing magnetic flags on the tops of a number of the vehicles throughout the procession. As we drive in procession today, please drive as closely as safety permits to the vehicle in front of you at all times. We want to avoid any large spaces or gaps in the procession. We would also request that you refrain from utilizing your cellular device. I'm going to ask those of you who were asked to be pallbearers to please join us in the front, and ask everyone else to stand if you're able. And at this time, we'll escort Mr. Ruby, his family, and the clergy from the chapel. Thank you. The song is coming. The song is coming. Wait for the song.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of a storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of love. Walk on